Yes, but I'm on the back. I'm on the back.
I consider Israel the best 154 pounder in the division right now. So why not go for the top guy in the division right off the bat? I want to leave a legacy that's never been left before, you know, inside and outside the ring, business minded, just helping the young fighters coming up, you know, giving them the courage and the outlet that the fighters before me never gave to us, you know, and at the same time, be at the top on my game as well. I always tell everybody I never go in the ring looking for the knockout, but if I smell blood and it's there, he out of there.
You know, I always say if the fight make sense, why not? But he's not in the plan. Like I say, if makes sense, maybe. I don't know right now. I just gonna enjoy this fight, and please let me enjoy this fight, and then you gonna know what is next for sure.
You want to be in there, yes, but I'm on. Applause. The one of my artists in an unexpected turn of events. Terence Crawford lost control as he almost fought Canelo Alvarez. It allegedly took place during a recent press conference. The full video of the event has since gone viral, capturing the explosive moment that nearly resulted in a brawl. At this point in his career, Terence Crawford has achieved so much that he can only afford to be straightforward. In a recent conversation about his upcoming bout with Israel, Madoff, his relationship with Shakur Stevenson, and the possibility of a rematch with Errol Spence Jr. Crawford was refreshingly candid. A key topic of conversation was Crawford's future opponent, especially after his bout with Madoff on August 3rd. If he manages to defeat Madoff, a notion that might be prematurely embraced by many, there are calls for him to challenge IF champion Jiren Boots Andis. Earlier this month, the Philadelphia native delivered a sensational TKO victory against David Onion. For the past 6 months, both he and his promoter Eddie Hearn have been actively challenging Crawford. Crawford, known for his willingness to face all challengers, has expressed a clear preference at age 36 for a showdown with fellow future Hall of Famer Canelo Alvarez. Over a match with the rising star, Andis Crawford stated that a bout between him and Canelo would happen at 168 pounds. Crawford said, "Where I'm at right now, I'm looking at the fight that makes the most sense. And that's not Boots. Canelo is going to bring way more to my legacy, way more to my bank account at the end of the day, when boxing is done. With what will we have? I want to have a legacy that people talk about for ages. And not only that, I want a bank account that will last for ages." It is difficult to not appreciate and comprehend such a response. Crawford has accomplished everything in boxing to be unquestionably inducted into the Hall of Fame. Given his ability to compete at a world-class level, he remains capable of taking on champions. But he wisely ensures his risks are well calculated. Should Crawford perform impressively against Madoff, he would likely be favored to beat Enos. Yet it's the type of match where a legendary champion might suddenly age in the ring. This decline frequently occurs when a veteran like Crawford faces a rising undefeated talent like Enos. Although Crawford would earn a substantial sum by defeating Andis, it would be minor compared to the earnings he'd received from out with Canelo. One could argue that Crawford and Canelo stand as the two most prominent fighters since the Floyd Mayweather era. Crawford boasts an impressive 40-0 record, with 31 of those victories coming by knockout, and has clinched titles in 3 different weight divisions. This remarkable achievement cements his legacy as one of the sport's all-time greats. Meanwhile, apart from setbacks against Mayweather and Dimitri Bivol, Canelo remains unbeaten by any other competitor. Despite their advancing years, Crawford and Canelo remain top-tier boxers, making a potential bout between them one of the most anticipated in traditional boxing. I emphasize traditional because the commercial impact of a Jake Paul versus Conor McGregor fight could be unpredictable. Crawford will now face Madoff in a test, and after this battle, we'll see if any of the possibilities have altered. I consider Israel the best 154-pounder in the division right now, so why not go for the top guy in the division right off the bat? I want to leave a legacy that's never been left before. You know, inside and outside the ring, I'm business-minded. Just helping the young fighters coming up, you know, giving them the courage and the outlet that the fighters before me never gave to us, you know, and at the same time be at the top on my game as well. I always tell everybody, I never go in the ring looking for the knockout. What if I smell blood? And it's there he out of there Turkey Lake, the head of Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority, has announced his desire to see a bout between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford in the near future. However, he cautioned the Mexican boxer not to push too hard on the financial terms for the anticipated match. The eagerly awaited match between the two fighters is finally on the horizon, with Turkey Sheikh showing a strong interest in bringing it to fruition as Saudi Arabia asserts its growing influence in the contemporary boxing scene. There's a note of caution to consider. Sheikh said, as per ESPN, "I will give Canelo the price I think is fair if he accepts it. He will deal directly with me to finalize the deal. I don't want anyone in the middle. I guaranteed Crawford a big fight. I want Canelo for Crawford, and Crawford wants Canelo. But if Canelo goes crazy with his financial demands, I'll still guarantee Crawford any fight. He wants the eagerly anticipated clash between two top-tier, resilient, and exceptionally strategic boxers will be postponed until 2025, as both fighters have prior commitments in 2024 for Canelo. This would mean only 10 weeks to recuperate and gear up for a training camp to take on Crawford in 2024, a challenge that's daunting even for a fighter of his esteemed reputation and storied legacy. Turkey has stated that he hopes to have the North American Super Bout in 2025. There are prior scheduled games for both men. Sheikh has promised to deliver a significant event for Crawford and plans to work with him going forward. Earlier in the week, Canelo revealed his next move. He'll be back in the ring to defend his super middleweight title against Edgar Berlanga on September 14th in Las Vegas. Canelo is still the WBA, WBC, and WBO king, despite losing his IF championship and no longer being the undisputed champion. If both he and Crawford win, an offer will be made to close the 14 pounds gap between their weight classes and arrange a fight between them from December 2020 to November 2021. Canelo dominated the 168 bits division, defeating all three undefeated world champions within just 11 months to claim the WBA, WBC, IF, and WBO titles. At the time, he was the undisputed super middleweight champion and the boxing industry's pound-for-pound ruler. However, Canelo went too far when he challenged one of the top contenders at light heavyweight and ended up losing to Dimitri Bivol. The Mexican has since sensibly moved back up to super middleweight and has been defending his titles. Currently, Canelo finds himself in a predicament that has led to him being stripped of his IF world title. He was mandated to defend against William Skull, a lesser-known IF mandatory challenger, in his upcoming fight on September 14th. Canelo has chosen to fight Berlanga instead, though, as this is not a highly marketable bout. As a result, he no longer has undisputed status and has lost his IF championship. I always say the fight makes sense. Why not? But he's not in the plan. Like I say, he makes sense. Maybe I don't know right now. I'm just going to enjoy this fight. And please let me enjoy this fight. And then you want to know what is next for sure. Amid the buzz about the potential Canelo versus Crawford match, an interview with former WBA super lightweight champion Rolando Romero, who shared his prediction for their fight months ago, has recently resurfaced. The potential showdown between Crawford and Canelo could turn into one of the most significant fights of our time. His Excellency Turkey has shown enthusiasm for staging this epic battle between the two icons in Saudi Arabia. Crawford is reportedly eager to face Canelo Alvarez in a bid to secure the undisputed title across three weight divisions, pocket a substantial purse, and then retire from boxing. But do you think Crawford can outperform a fighter like Alvarez at 168 lobes? Since November 2021, the Mexican boxer has dominated the super middleweight division. In contrast, Crawford has spent most of his career in the welterweight class, making a victory over the significantly larger Canelo Alvarez a formidable challenge. This point was echoed by Romero some time back and has recently been highlighted by a boxing commentator on X. Romero predicted confidently, if Terence Crawford moves up to fight Canelo, then it's going to be a worse fight than Gerald Charlo running around against Canelo. I'ma tell you straight up, Canelo by murder against Crawford. They have weight class for a reason. Gerald Charlo, the EXL middleweight champion, moved up 2 weight classes to challenge the Mexican star last year. However, Alvarez triumphed decisively over the previously undefeated Charlo. This result underscored the challenges faced by fighters moving up in weight classes. Romero later proposed that Crawford would have a better chance of succeeding at 154 olds rather than 168. One must not underestimate a fighter of Bud's caliber. Throughout his career, He has consistently showcased extraordinary skills, including a remarkable streak of 11 consecutive knockout victories. Many in the boxing community are confident that Bud would come out on top against the Mexican boxer despite any differences in their weight classes. Despite Rally Romero's grim forecast, the majority of the boxing world thinks that Terence Crawford is the sole fighter capable of delivering Canelo Alvarez. His third loss, Crawford's move to light middleweight, is seen as a strategic effort to bridge the gap between himself and Canelo. While some presume that Bud has less chance of winning two-division undisputed champion, Lessa Shields believes that the only man that can beat Canelo is Terence Crawford. That's just what I think, and I want to see it even though Alvarez is a skilled boxer whooped lightweight champion. Shaker Stevenson thinks Crawford might defeat him. Furthermore, boxing pundit and coach Teddy Atlas picked Bud over Canelo and said it's a tremendous challenge because Canelo is a tremendous fighter and